Ready?
I think so. Which screen is the one that's happening?
This is up now. We're live now. So When you say
you didn't say anything. You just were like, okay, ready?
Oh, yeah, we're ready. We're here. We're here.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Are you the host?
Nope, you're the host. Go for it. David, Phoebe, Brittany, good morning. Josh, Angie, you're the host. Go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saturday Morning Live with your host, Angie Taylor, Josh Taylor.
Wow.
Was that a good Saturday Night Live impression?
Sure. Yeah, that was fantastic. Yeah.
So as always, I'm your host, not him.
Yeah.
And this week, the show is interactive as usual, highly interactive, and as usual, our dogs are playing, and you can hear them growling in the background. It's morning time, and it's their favorite time of day, so they like to play. But anyway, if you are joining us right now, make sure you say hi in the chat. If your name is not your username, say who you are so we know, so everybody else in the chat knows who is here. Introduce yourselves, chat. And don't forget that if you like what we're doing here on Network 1901, make sure you subscribe. And if you subscribe, you're also going to want to hit the bell icon, because you know what that does? That lets you know when we post new videos, and you're going to want to know. So anyway, today's show, we are talking about which villains are evil. So I've picked 4 villains here, one from each type of Disney category.
Yeah.
And we're going to go through each one, and we're going to say, are they actually evil? So we're not like psychiatrists or sociologists here. Maybe some of you are in the chat.
Maybe.
And, but we are going to say, like, you know, sometimes something happens. Like, you might not say, like, Loki is necessarily evil because of like everything he's gone through in his childhood, and I guess and in his adult life, and but it would be something we would have to like talk about, right? So we're gonna decide at the core, are they really evil or not? So you might be able to guess who our first villain is, because it's actually the picture on the thumbnail.
Yeah. Oh, do we want to talk about first, like, do we want to like come up with rules on like what we think an evil villain is, and then go to this, or should we just go to
Well,
this?
what do you think makes somebody evil, Josh?
Well, what makes a person evil to me is somebody who is manipulative,
Okay.
and vicious, and I think for the sake of their own benefit.
Okay, so but if they're manipulative for the sake of like the community or for the sake of the world, is that okay?
I don't think that makes them evil. I think it makes them a bad person, but I don't think that it makes them
See,
evil.
I think it's easy to make blanket statements like that. But I think when we get down to the nitty-gritty, the individual, you're going to have some other things to say.
Sure.
So, David Mock says rotten to the core. Rotten to the core.
Yeah.
What is that from? Is that
It's from Descendants, right?
Oh,
yeah,
that's why I don't know what it is. Which I really want to see. Anyway, let's get on to our first villain, which is...
Hold on. Let me get the graphics ready. Let me get the graphics ready.
This is not my fault. It's Ursula. It's Ursula.
Yeah.
It's Ursula. So, is Ursula evil? You might say, yeah. Because, like, look at all the crap she did during The Little Mermaid. I just, like, blew a bubble with my mouth.
Cool.
But is she actually evil? So let's talk about Ursula. Phoebe said rotten to the core. Who could ask for more?
Yeah.
But, so here's the deal with Ursula. She is pretty much evil. You see all, like, the people turn to those wormy things in her cave. She has magic. But her backstory isn't really talked about in The Little Mermaid all that much. And when you actually, like, go into some of the details and you realize that she actually used to live in the castle with King Triton, and he actually banished her from the castle. So she is like not happy about this. So is she a victim of her circumstance, or is she actually evil at her core? I'd like to know what you guys think. Josh, what do you think?
I think that in Little Mermaid, she's justified. However, revenge is something that, again, is a trait of villains. You feel wronged, so instead of looking within yourself to see what happened and what went wrong, you seek revenge on others. I would say that, like, in Disney lore, she's a villain, but I wouldn't say she's like the top level villain.
Okay, so but you still think she is a villain?
Yes, but like, I mean, I think all of
I
these,
mean, not a villain. You think she's evil?
I think all of these are bad people. I would say that she's evil. Because she knows what she's doing is wrong.
She knows what she's doing is wrong.
Yes.
So you think that at the core makes somebody evil? So what if I do something that I know is wrong, but it's not that bad? How does it, like, what's the level of, like, doing something wrong, knowing it's wrong, and you're evil because of it? Like, it has to be, like, a crime against somebody?
I think when other people's lives are on the line, right? Like, all those worm people used to be regular people.
Yeah.
And Ariel's on her way to being there.
So do you think simply, like, having the wormy people is enough to say she's evil?
Yeah, in my eyes.
Okay. If nobody has anything to
add to
object,
this? Yeah.
I'm putting Ursula
up as evil.
Is evil. Is that okay? Does everybody agree?
I think she's Phoebe said, has anyone watched Twisted? Is that she talked about being a victim of circumstance, was Triton's sister, and she was banished because she was a girl, right? I
did not see Twisted, but I think that's very interesting. David said, I think she's a villain. She says she's reformed, but she's not, and acting out of being hurt doesn't make it right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so our next villain. This one.
Let me get the graphic.
Don't say it, just do it.
Okay,
Just do it.
Okay.
So our next villain, okay, and I guess you know what it is now, is Ego.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish you didn't use the same picture, because now you can see how awful, like, my drawing is.
Kurt Russell has never looked more like Moses.
So,
ever.
Ego is from Guardians of the Galaxy 2. If you haven't
Volume 2.
He's the villain. He's the villain of the movie. Well, one of the villains of the movie, the main villain of the movie. So he's a celestial, which is kind of like a god, and so he's not a human, but he takes human form to relate to the other humans and aliens, or races, I guess.
Gotta know.
Species.
Yeah.
So, but he's not actually human. So can he be evil if he's not a human? And the reason I say this is because I think a lot of what he does is motivated by he has a mind that can like surpass space and time, and he can live for like infinity amount of years, and what he truly believes is best for the galaxy, for the universe, is this like major plan that he has to basically like take over the whole universe and turn every planet into him.
Yeah. I would say, like, personally, for Ego, he's not, like, the Marvel Cinematic Universe has had a problem with villains. We just saw Black Panther the other night. No spoilers, but Killmonger might be one of the best MCU villains. I might say that Ego's one of the weakest villains. He's a really good character, but he's a bad villain because
You can't relate to him.
Well, I can't relate to him, but I also think like he views the universe like how we view ants, right? There's like millions of them. They're gonna live and die. No big deal. We're a level above ants, right? Like
Yeah.
and so for
We
him,
view that.
we view that, and so for him, he views us as ants,
Right.
and he sees that he can rule the universe with his son, and nothing else matters because it truly, to him, he's seen everything. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Everything's ants.
Everything's temporary. Everything, because you think an ant lives, well, I don't know how long ants live, but say they live for like a week. I don't know. I know like flies live for like only a couple days. So let's say a fly. If you kill a fly, you think, oh, it has no significance. Let's say on accident, you're not like doing it on purpose. And
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
what?
Like, Phoebe just said Killmonger was such a good villain. I was rooting for him, and I totally agree. Sorry.
Okay. So Disney Freak says he's evil but has a reason. And then Phoebe says, "But what? What is that reason? Because he killed his love." Disney Freak says he wanted to find love, but he's not evil, like diabolical. So I think, and then there's also he didn't want to find love; he wanted power. I think he's a relatable character because he's the embodiment of our ego. We can so often treat other humans like ants. David Mock says that. I think that's a really good point. And Brittany says ego lacks empathy due to his experience as a celestial in immense power within the galaxy. So does lacking empathy, is empathy at the core of making somebody evil?
I mean, I think there's a lot of people that lack empathy, right? Like, we know people that lack empathy, but I would never say that they're evil people. I would just say that they don't understand the world at large. They don't comprehend. Maybe they're selfish in a bit, in a way that other people typically aren't.
Okay.
But
So
I
you
wouldn't
can
say
lack
evil.
empathy, but you can still know right and wrong.
Yes.
So you can lack empathy, so you don't care or you don't necessarily understand how somebody else feels, but you can, if you're a good person, you would learn how to understand how people feel, and you would try to shape your actions around it. But he's not a person. He's a celestial. But is he kind of a person? No, I don't think he is.
No, he
knows so much. I don't think he's evil. I think he killed his wife because, or his love, because she was in his way. But it doesn't matter. What if an ant was in your way and you I don't know,
in the grander
like,
scheme of things,
yeah,
she was a reason for him to bear a child.
Yeah.
Which, that sucks, but like, again, he looks at such a broader, bigger scale.
Disney Freak says he wanted to find more life. And Phoebe says he wanted to create life. I'm gonna say no. I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna say no. If anyone has anything,
this is a huge leap between this one and then this one.
I'm gonna say no just for the heck of it, because I think we're kind of saying he's not really evil. He's not a good guy. He's a villain. Like, he is the villain. He wants to kill everybody in the entire universe.
Yeah.
But his motivations are not evil.
He's not as evil as Ursula.
Yes. Which is strange because she's only impacting individuals. He's impacting the entire existence of any other species. But it's for the greater good, right? His motivations aren't evil. Even if he's wrong, his motivations aren't evil. So we're going to move on. Because we can keep talking about this later when we move on to more of the interactive phase of the show. And we're going to move on to the next villain, which...
I'll get it. Sorry, the graphic.
We're moving on to the next villain, which you can probably kind of tell from here who it's going to be. It is Syndrome.
How do you say it?
Syndrome.
Wow, Syndrome.
Syndrome from The Incredibles.
Syndrome.
So Syndrome's backstory here. He was a huge fan of superheroes when he was a kid. And Bob, Mr. Incredible, was like, "You'll never be anything." No, he didn't say that. But he basically, he feels like that's what was said to him, right? You'll never amount to anything.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
He didn't give him the time of day. So he came back and he was like, "Fine, I'll be a superhero, but like the opposite.
See, this is where I would say, again, revenge and selfishness comes into play in a stronger way. I would say Syndrome is more of a villain than any of these two.
Yes,
because
his motivations,
his intent is hellbent on revenge rather than looking within and saying, what do I need to change? What do I need to do to be a superhero? Instead, he is like, I just need to seek revenge on this person who didn't love me, didn't want to be with me, and like is out to kill the Mr. Incredible and his family. Like, he's not out to be understood or to be a superhero. He's out to kill.
Okay, so David thought it was Hades because of the hair. It does look like Hades. I guess the fire hair is kind of
a little
Hades
bit.
thing.
Yeah.
So Disney Freak says he wanted to be a hero, but his hero disappointed him, and he started to view all heroes as a threat. So is he evil? Because is he doing it as a revenge, or does he really think that heroes are threat to?
I think when you look at like the overall idea of that, right? Like that one person ruins it for everyone. You have to like. I think in a logical mind, and he's a child, so of course like that changes things. But in a logical mind, you wouldn't say this one person ruined it for everyone.
Yeah.
You would point out that one person, which he does, but he believes that all superheroes are wrong, all superheroes are wrong. And he's not changing it by writing into his local government.
Yeah.
You know, he's like going after them and killing them.
So there's like a rage building up inside of him, and that's what's powering his...
It's taking what Ursula has done times, 100.
Right. Okay. You know what? I'm just gonna say yes then, because Disney Freak says he wanted to be a hero. Sorry, I already read that one. I think he became evil, as Stoogie says. I think he became evil once he threatened Jack's life. I think that's a clear indicator of evil. You're gonna kill a baby? Right? Jack's the baby?
Yeah. Going up?
Yep. Phoebe thinks, though...
He's not evil. I think he's young and naive. He's got teen angst. He could have done other things, but he's the Kylo Ren. But I don't think... But his... Okay, so if you want to go Kylo Ren, well, we talk a lot about Kylo Ren, his redemption, what could happen. Yeah. I don't think there's redemption here. I think this is too far gone.
Because the baby. Because he killed the baby. He tried to kill the baby. Yeah. No, I don't know. So, okay, we're going to say yes for now. We can go back to it when we have the discussion. Right here, we have another villain. And that villain is... I don't know. You need to do this. You're in charge.
Go for it.
Is our Star Wars villain, Boba Fett. He's not the main villain. That's. Right. I think this is the only one that's not the main villain of the story.
I thought that was too easy.
Yeah, the main villain, you do, like, Darth Vader, Darth Maul, Kylo Ren. I don't think we need to necessarily talk about those characters on this show. This is more of, like, we try to do a deep dive, right? So Boba Fett is kind of our deep dive. Here's my thing. I don't really know Boba Fett. I've seen the movie. I've seen it a couple of times.
Sure.
But it was a while back. I'm not, like, the biggest Star Wars fan, so I don't know a lot about Boba Fett, but I know that people who do know about Boba Fett know a lot about Boba Fett.
So, hold on, before we move on. So, okay, Delta says, why is Ego not evil? And Phoebe said, so Syndrome kills a baby, or tries to kill a baby, he's evil. Ego kills everyone, and he's not evil.
Yeah.
So I think that, okay, we're not saying that they're yes, he is evil, or he is a villain, right? But I think that on the scale of villainy here, he's at this point the least villainous.
Okay.
In my eyes, he's the least evil.
Because of the motivation. But let's move on to Boba Fett, because we can talk about this later in the discussion. So bounty hunter equals not a villain. Yeah, bounty hunter doing whatever personal gain of money. He is told what to do. That's like saying a soldier is evil because he kills when he is told. So we're giving permission to bounty hunters to kill. If we give soldiers permission to kill for whatever reason. So it's his profession.
But
Does he kill? Does he kill?
Yes, but
Okay.
like he is. I feel like bounty hunter is such a hard. Like soldier, definitely you're doing what you're told. It's kind of it's out of your hands, right?
Right.
If you kill someone, it's not your fault. It's more of like a government issue. With bounty hunter, a lot of these guys, especially Boba Fett, is like a freelance bounty hunter, right? So if you want to kill someone, get into being a bounty hunter because that's how you get paid and that's how you get to kill people. I still think that that's wrong.
Yeah.
But I would kind of agree here that, like, these characters aren't necessarily... Like, out of all these characters, he might be the least evil of all.
Yeah. Okay. So here's now what I'm gathering. So he kills people as a bounty hunter. Does he have to kill the people that he's killing? Are they fighting back? And are they threatening his life?
Well, he doesn't kill Luke. Right? He doesn't kill
Yeah.
Han or Leia. So they could fight back, and in that way he would kill them, but he just captures, the others, the characters in the story. So we don't necessarily see the killing. But that's up to, I guess that would also be up to whomever is hiring him, right? Bring him back to me or kill him.
Suji says in the comics he is very ruthless and he tortures people. That kind of changes things.
That does change things, yes.
But is he torturing, like, okay, just because someone's a criminal doesn't mean they deserve to die or that they deserve
Sure.
to be tortured. Even if that criminal is evil, right?
Right.
So like if Boba Fett captured Syndrome, who we've decided is evil, does he deserve to be tortured? Is he tortured? So there's a lot of, it's very related to war, right? Because you think Gitmo, you think of all that. I'm gonna just say no. I think the general consensus is because it's legal what he's doing.
It's not legal.
It's being a bounty hunter is legal. Wanted dead or alive.
He's a freelance bounty hunter. He's not an officer of the law.
That's how bounty hunters are. Bounty hunters are like contracted. That's how, like, Dog the bounty hunter.
Yeah,
he doesn't. He's not law enforcement.
No, I get. No, I totally get that. But I'm saying that he's in this case, he's hired by the bad guys to hunt down a good guy.
Oh, he's hired by bad guys.
Yeah, he's hired by Darth
I'm
Vader and the
I'm
Empire.
telling you, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
who he works for.
He's hired. To,
I guess this is stormtrooper style, right?
Sure, he's hired by. He could be hired by anybody to do anything, right? Good or bad, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
As long as he's getting paid.
So he's not evil. He's just
he's a pawn in a larger scheme, but they're using him to get.
He tortured people to get them to tell him where Luke was. It's
Yes.
a job. It's a job. No, it's a job. Okay, I'm gonna say no. It's a job. So, but contracted by evil people makes you evil, right? Boba works for who pays the highest. He doesn't care about the law. Okay. So maybe it is a yes.
That he's evil?
The
No, I
fact
would
that
say,
you're you don't even care who you kill or who you get or what they did or why.
but he'll gladly do it for either side.
Yeah, he doesn't care. Isn't that kind of evil?
But it's not chaotic evil, right? Because he won't do it unless he's paid, unless he's contracted to do so.
You know what?
You're gonna do a maybe?
I love your argument. But on this one, I'm gonna make this decision here.
What are you going
Because we are gonna wrap this show up.
We're not necessarily wrapping up the show. What we're trying to do, what we're going to be doing with every live show from here on out, is that we're going to do
This is not.
what we've kind of come up with for a show for the first 20 minutes or so, and then once that's done, we're going to do Q&A. If you want to bring other characters to the table, because we brought 4 to the table. If you want to bring other characters to the table,
Or if you want to
talk about
continue the
something else,
discussion.
feel free to ask questions.
Yeah.
This is definitely the time to do it.
In the meantime, you're definitely going to want to subscribe If you liked this show and you want to see more of what we're doing with the live shows, also you're going to want to hit that bell notification icon to get reminded when we actually go live, or even just when we post any video.
Yeah.
That, because we post 3 videos a week. You also are going to want to check out network1901.com, because we also post 3 podcasts a week, and everything is over at network1901.com. That's kind of our hub for all of our content, and it's sorted there really, really easily. So especially for the podcasts, you can go there. We have all kinds of different podcast series. I think right now we have maybe about 10, right? 10 different series on the website. You can go click around and see what podcast fits your style, or you can check out the playlists on our YouTube channel and see what type of topics fit your style there as well. But right now we want to throw the discussion over to you. So we'd like to discuss a little more in the chat if you have any oppositions to what we came up with here. But I think this is a pretty good... we had a pretty good discussion here so far.
Yeah.
Continue the discussion. Also, let us know in the live chat, or if you're watching this on the replay, if you disagree with any of these, why, or if you want to bring up any other villains, let us know. So Phoebe says that Contracted by Evil People makes me think of World War II, which in which case he's not evil.
Right.
And Brittany says, great point.
Disney Freak has asked it for a couple of different characters. Loki, which, in my mind, he is redeemed, but initially he is evil.
Yeah.
Again, the whole revenge, plot, like taking that out.
So someone can be evil and then be redeemed and not be evil anymore,
Yeah,
even though that they've done all these bad things before. So as long as they've repented for their...
That's what society says, right? Like,
Yeah.
if you do something bad, you do your time for it, and then
Yeah.
you're let free. Some people get, like, life
Yeah.
in prison or whatever, but some
Yeah.
people get 10 years, and then
Yeah.
they're let out. They get a second chance.
Yeah.
I think that's the Loki story, right? He gets a second chance,
Yeah.
and he...
So none of these
redeems himself.
characters have had a redemption story. So we're basing all of this on, like, the fact that they've never actually been redeemed. Like,
Yeah.
everything that's happened to them that was maybe something we could have some kind of sympathy for is something that happened before they turned evil.
Yeah. And then Lotso, Darth Maul, and Captain Hook are the other 3 that he's saying. So with Lotso, I think this is a story of manipulation. I'm doing a video actually about another character down the line, but I was talking yesterday about words and using language for manipulation and how you can distort people's worldviews. And Lotso does that. And he does that with not only the Toy Story characters, but like with a lot of the toys at Sunnyside. And I think that that's definitely top tier. Like, when you start messing with worldviews and you start changing what people believe, I think that that's something that you're doing intentionally over and over and over again.
Yeah.
And I would say that's pretty villainous.
Well, that goes along with your idea of the manipulation makes the villain. So I think we've had a lot of great discussion in the chat today. I'm really happy. This show is interactive, and at its core, you guys are what makes this live show what it is. Because of your participation, we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you guys so much for joining us. If you have any final thoughts in the live chat, it's going to be going away in a minute, because we're going to be wrapping up the show.
But I'll still hang out in the live chat and answer stuff in
so we'll hang around for another 5 minutes or so if you guys want to just chat. But I think that's enough for this as far as like the live show goes. But I would like to keep the discussion going in the comments section on the replay. So I'd like us to really pick apart Boba Fett in the comments. I know that Stoogie is very passionate about this because Boba Fett is a favorite. So I'd like to continue this conversation in the comments. Also bringing up other villains and talking about what really get down to the core of what makes a villain evil. and picking apart specific villains within the Disney universe. But that's all for today. Make sure you, again, go over to network1901.com to check us out there. Check us out on social media. Pretty much on every platform there is across the line. I am Modern Mouse Ange. Josh is Modern Mouse Josh. So you're definitely going to want to check us out there. And otherwise, hurry back.
Keep on moving, people.